What's up, everyone? We're about to get started. I'm excited today. First live stream event. For every 100 viewers, we got wax strips here. I feel like I'm gonna be like Steve Carell in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
No, Kelly Clarkson!
Share this post. If we get to 1,000, we're gonna shave my eyebrow. I came out with my new 81-page ebook. I'm gonna be presenting it all today. If you haven't gotten it, go to my website, confessions.hallofmarketing.com. Help support me. I can't even afford color copies over here. This thing's jam-packed with stuff. I guarantee you're gonna learn something. 99% of people are gonna buy a car some point in their life. You're probably gonna buy a car every 2 to 5 years. So that means you're gonna buy 10, 15, 25 cars over the course of your lifetime. Imagine saving an extra $3,000 on every single car you buy. This book could save you 70 grand. I was in the car business for 2 years, and so I know a lot of secrets that I'm gonna share with you today that have never been told before. Just to give you a little introduction on who I am, I sold cars for 2 years, and for the first year, I sold them, they call it on the floor. It's when a customer just drives in off the lot, they come in, you help them out. You help out a complete stranger, and you sell them a car. So I learned shortly that in order to make money doing that, you have to make $3,000 to $6,000 off a customer to actually get a good paycheck. It just didn't jive with me when I'm seeing a family sitting there with 2 or 3 kids. They make a combined total of $4,000, and I'm single, making $6 grand, $7 grand, $8 grand, and they're signing up for a car payment that they probably shouldn't be purchasing. A car is a depreciating asset, and so I love new cars. I love cars. Don't get that wrong. And I'm not trying to bag on anyone in the car industry, any of the sales managers. I know a lot of really good sales managers, a lot of really good salespeople. They do that to support their family. They're not bad people. But I believe that the car business, the business model that they have, is currently failing. I'm trying to do my part to help change that. And so today, I'm going to be giving you all my different tips on how to buy a car, how to save the most money on your car, different things to look for when buying your car. I've sold a little over 300 cars, depending on how you count the numbers. After I left on the floor, I just didn't like it. You had to whack somebody. The people that have the most money made on them are usually the people that need their money the most. And so I moved to the internet sales, giving people great deals up front, like right when my customers would walk in or I'd call them, bam, 3,000 off, 5,000 off, 6,000 off. I even went up to 9,000. I think I actually went up to 10,000, but $9,000 off one time. And there was no negotiating. It was very easy. They came in, we did the paperwork, it was done. It was cool. But after working 60 hours a week every week for somebody else, I wanted to start my own business. And so I presented my manager an idea to hire my own assistant so I could have a lot more time on my hands. When I presented him with the idea, he offered me a promotion instead. He said, no, you can't do that. And it's because the owners of all these car dealerships are stuck in their ways. If the consumers keep buying cars, they're not going to change their ways. They can do whatever they want because you have to buy a car at some point, right? So I got promoted to manager. I was going to get promoted to manager, and I decided to leave anyways. So it's a failing business model. You see Tesla trying to change things right now. They're actually lobbying in the government in Washington to try to change some of the laws that car dealers have previously lobbied to set into motion so that you can't buy new cars online. You can't buy new cars unless it's from a dealerships. Some dealerships have actually gotten around that by setting up their own app on their website, and you can click the button, fill out your credit app, choose your car, and they'll deliver the car right to you, so you don't have to spend hours in a dealership. Things need to change. So I want to show you how to get a great deal on the car. Let me stand up. I'm amped. Every month, I don't even need my notes for this. So every month, 4.5 million cars are sold every month, based on the last 90-day average that I looked at. About 1.5 million of that is new cars, and 3 million of that is used cars. So I know this book can benefit a lot of people. Like I said before, 99% of people are going to buy a car some point in their life. You're probably going to buy a car every 2 to 5 years. So there's lots of people that need this book. I want to share it with the community. Share this video. Let's make this go viral. I'll wax my chest if we get to 100 viewers, and for every 100 viewers. And so dealerships usually keep 1 to 3 months supply in on their lots. That means right now in just the U.S., not any other countries, not at auctions, not the 5 cars at the tweaker house down the road. There are 9 million cars unsold on lots, sitting on lots right now. So if market price is determined by supply and demand, economics 101, then tell me why we have hundreds of millions of dollars of cars sitting on lots, and actually billions of dollars, billions of dollars, tens and maybe even hundreds of billions. I can't do the math right now, but why are we paying too much for cars? Why is there such a huge margin in cars? Why have all these retailers been closing and going to the internet because it's easy to sell a $5 product on the internet, but big car dealerships haven't changed yet? You can shop for a house online. You can even buy a house online. You can have the paperwork shipped sight unseen. You don't even go to your house yet. You're in the Navy and you're in Virginia, and they allow you to buy your car or buy your house and just show up and move in. So why hasn't the car industry changed? So I had this question simmering, and I'm like, even when I was selling cars, because I'd be sitting at a desk giving somebody $3,000, $5,000 off, and 5 desks over, somebody's buying the same car at full price. And it's usually the people that are inexperienced at buying and that don't maybe know the best ways to save money, the best ways to make money. And so those people are in the worse situation than the more educated people that have learned these buying services and learned. So I wanted to share this. This is a completely free webinar. If you want to buy my book and help support, I'm donating $1 for every book sold during this live stream to Hurricane Harvey. It's only $7. Pick it up. It's 81 pages. All right, who's having fun yet? All right, thanks for joining me on this live stream. Sorry, I'm still new at this. There should be no excuses. So, let's go. All right, so supply and demand. You should have more power as a consumer if there's way more cars out there. Car dealers know they're going to sell their cars eventually, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. But if you as the consumer put your foot down and are willing to walk away from a bad car deal and adamant about getting a good deal, like you're trying to provide for you and your family, the salesperson is trying to provide for them and their family. But as an internet salesman myself, and a lot of dealerships do this, they actually paid me a flat rate, $500 for every unit I sold. And so as long as I hit 17, I got $500. Do the math, it's good pay. I was happy with it. I was giving people fantastic deals, taking care of my customer, great service, and my incentive was to get as many car deals done as fast as possible. And so sometimes I just had to go close my manager on giving the customer the right deal, because I was just trying to hurry and go as fast as possible. I didn't want you there for 3 to 5 hours. I know you didn't want to be there for 3 to 5 hours. I'm trying to sell another car. You're trying to go home and get on with the rest of your life. So there's just, I'm just trying to change some things. So just take this into mind when you go to a dealership. You can always ask your salesperson how they get paid. See if they have a mini program, or call ahead. Call 5 to 10 dealerships. I have a cold call video on my YouTube channel. I did 2 cold calls, and within 2 cold calls I got $6,100 off on a 2017 Camry outgoing model. And that was just 2 calls. I'm going to do some more of those, and I'm going to actually do a secret shopper. I'm going to walk into a dealership, get a spy camera on, mic myself up, have my camera guy like hidden. I'm going to walk into a dealership, probably not a Toyota dealership, because all my Toyota buddies will know me and they probably won't give me a good deal now. So we're gonna go to a different dealership, maybe a Honda. Let me know if you want me to. Let me know what kind of car you want me to buy. If you live around Washington and you're looking at cars, let me know, and I'll just go in and search for the car that you're looking for. And then when I'm done negotiating, I'll just call you up and you can come in and sign your paperwork. So, big versus small dealerships. We got franchise dealerships and we got little mom and pop stores. So with franchise dealerships, I personally suggest going to a franchise dealership. They're usually a little bit more well run. There's still some bad ones, but there's many more good ones than bad ones in that sense, because the manufacturer wants to keep an eye on it because they don't want to give Toyota or Dodge or Nissan a bad name. When it's just a mom and pop store, you don't answer to anyone. When I was working at Jimmy John's making minimum wage, and I'd always drive past those lots, and I was driving my car, it had a dent. The door was smashed in, the driver's side window didn't work, the AC didn't work, 250,000 miles on it, moonroof didn't work, hood was smashed, scrapes all over it. It was a POS, bad car. And I'd always drive past these dealerships and I'm looking, man, look at that $3,000 car, look at that $5,000 car. Like, I could probably save up enough money and go do that. I didn't even know about payments, I didn't know about credit. I had no idea when I got in the car business. So I'm looking at these cars and I'm like, that's probably what I should do. So that's what I always thought. Come to find out, you don't want to go to those used lots. All they're doing is they're just going to auctions. Sometimes they're taking trade-ins, but usually they're going to auctions and buying cars. In my experience, when I've talked to customers, because I've never bought one from there, but every customer I've talked to that buys from like Car Hop, and no matter what credit you got, no money down, we'll sign you up today, you don't want to go to those guys if there's something fishy going on. John Oliver had a really good segment about it. You can watch the John Oliver. He explains a lot better than I can, but it's a really eye-opening thing about the car business, and some really interesting knowledge about how interest rates work, how financing works, and how many people are buried in their cars right now, this moment. I think it's 1/3 to 2/3 of people are buried in their cars right now, trading in with negative equity, and it's at an all-time high of people trading in with negative equity. Why is that? Because there's too much profit being made on the cars when you bought them. Not every car. Most car deals are only about $500 to maybe $1,000 or $2,000, but every so often there's a $5,000 deal all the way up to a $15,000 deal, and those people that get whacked every so often, they're the ones that are really keeping that business open. And so I don't want you to fall into that category, and then 3 years down the road you go to try to trade in your car and you got 3 kids and you're trying to support for your family, you're working 2-3 jobs, and your car is broken down and you can't afford to trade it in, you can't afford the car payments, and you're totally stuck in your car. I don't want that. So while he's getting a refill, you can go to auctions. I've never personally bought a car from an auction. I want to do a video on that. Buy a car on an auction, flip it. I have flipped used cars before. If you're ever selling your car, you can sell any running car on Craigslist for $1,000 minimum, all day, every day, easy money. You put that thing up, you'll have calls in the first day. I've sold 4 or 5 cars on Craigslist, running cars. I've even, I had a customer and I told them, hey, you could probably sell this car for more on the side, like my dealership doesn't even want it from you. And they were like, no, we just want to get rid of it, like we just don't want it anymore. I was like, $500, and I gave them $500 cash right there, signed the title, put it in the shop, everything ran fine. My buddy needed some help. He didn't have good enough credit to get finance. I ended up letting him, I sold him the car on my own payments, and then gave him the car for $1,000. And he got a nice car, he's still driving it. What's up, man? There's domestic, which I just want to go over some terms in case you don't know them. Domestic cars are like Dodge, Ford, Chevy. Import cars are Nissan, Honda, Toyota, anything from like Europe or Japan. It's funny because they call them domestic cars because they're built in America, but nowadays they're really not built in America. They're lobbying to get those capabilities waived off of cars. On cars, you can see it's a law to see the parts and where your parts come from and where the car was built. And all these American-made manufacturers that lobbied to get those stickers on their car. Now 20 years later, now that they're outsourcing, they're actually lobbying to get those stickers taken off the car, because a lot of these imports such as Toyota are building their cars in America. So just a little fun fact. And then we got luxury Lexus, Mercedes, Porsche, Ferrari. We'll just keep moving on. Let's go. Let's keep rolling with it. All right, so we got some car buying services. There's all sorts of car buying services. If you just want to make it easy on yourself, I suggest the Costco program. That makes it really easy. You can still get a better deal. I've seen much better deals in the Costco program. It's not always 100%. Same with like TrueCar or Cars.com. Using one of those services, it can save a lot of time. If you're trying to get in and out of there, again, don't stick to any of these buying programs. You can save a lot more money just doing it yourself and doing some good research. I'm sure you research for your house, and so when you're going to be buying a car that's going to last you 10, 15 years, or you'll have payments for 5 years, do some research on it. You can buy my book at confessions.hallofmarketing.com, and then just sign up. And just for signing up, I'll give you my free glossary with all the car dealer terms. I'll give you my free number 16 tip. There should be a green button right there. Help support me in this venture and help me change the car business. We got IAA auctions. So at IAA, try to say that 5 times fast. But there's tons of cars on there if you're willing to do a couple changes to the. You can save a lot of money doing that. A lot of my friends in the car business, they bought cars online. I have a buddy that he does that on the side while he works. He buys cars at the auction and then just sells them on the side, fixes them up in his spare time, makes some extra money. Could be fun. You get to drive around a new car all the time. It's cool. Craigslist, of course, Craigslist. I've even heard on eBay you can buy cars. I've never tried that yet. When you're doing your research, you can use the internet. Make sure you're looking at your local specials. Go in prepared. Car dealers sell cars every single day. They're selling 20 cars a day. You as the consumer might only buy one every 2 to 5 years, maybe even longer. Don't take a knife to a gunfight. Be prepared. You want to know what you're doing, know what you're talking about. Test your salesperson. Make sure they're telling you the truth. Ask them questions you already know the answer to so that you can see, are they telling me the truth or are they just want a quick sale? And then you can use the phone. Check out my cold call video. You can call different dealerships up. You do all sorts of things. Call different dealerships up. Find out the best price. You can use these tips together. So try out 2 or 3 buying services and then call some dealerships, get some upfront quotes. And then once you get the best quote, then call around to a couple of dealerships and see if they'll match that quote that you have. Also look at the tax rates in your area. That can save you a lot of money. And these are quick things that if you spend an hour or two, you can save thousands of dollars, thousands. You talk about a Dodge truck, a Ford Raptor. These things have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 profit in them with rebates and with financing specials, with holdback cash, all the different terms that they use. It's all just savings in the end. It's all just savings. Don't just walk in. Don't walk in unprepared. So there's all sorts of different research tools. You can use CarGurus. CarGurus is the actual car dealers will have a similar service that they can compare. They see all, let's say you're looking at a 2015 Camry. When you're looking at a 2015 Camry, you probably want to know where to find one. So you go online, you look at different dealerships with 2015 Camrys. And you see on CarGurus that there's 20 of them within a 20-mile radius of where you are right now. If there's 20 of them, you're probably going to get a good deal on it because supply and demand again. If there's a lot of them, you should be able to get a cheaper price. Now, if you're looking for a rare car and there's only one of them, and you're looking for a Ferrari, then there's only one in your area, the dealer can charge whatever they want. It's supply and demand. It's just like diamonds. If they can hold the supply of diamonds in their warehouses and pretend like there's a limited supply of diamonds and they're hard to get, they can charge you whatever they want for the diamond that they put out into the public because there's not very many of them. Dealerships do the same thing, and so use the tools that they're using. KBB will come up a lot. They're really good. You can check trade-in prices on KBB, and you can also look at private party values. And when you sell your car to a dealership, when you trade in, there's something they call a tax credit because since you're trading items across the board, you don't pay taxes on a certain amount. So whatever your trade-in value is, you get like 9% more or whatever the tax rate in your county is. If you go to sell a private party on Craigslist, you want to put in a little bit more work, you can actually make more money selling it on Craigslist, get a few extra thousand depending on your skill level in negotiating. You really don't need a down payment. It's to lower your payment so they can sell you more stuff in the back end. But we'll go over that in a little bit. If you are going to use a down payment on your car, you can get a rewards card, like a credit card, and for your first $3,000 of purchases, you get $750 cash back. So if you put $3,000 down on your car, you get an extra $750 off. Capitalize. Consumer Reports has phenomenal research tools for buying cars. You can see what's more reliable. They have a bunch of different people drive the car, see exactly how it drives. They compare gas mileage. They have a really in-depth rating system. Plus, when you're looking on YouTube and Google for ratings, most of those companies that are doing the ratings are being paid by the manufacturer to do those ratings. Like if you go on Toyota's website and you go to Camry, you can see tons of awards, but every single car out there has tons of awards because these manufacturers partner with clients to give them high ratings so that they give the perception that they're doing really well. And Consumer Reports is one of the only methods of completely unbiased opinion. And so I remember there was videos on YouTube. Toyota trainers would even tell us to show them to customers. the company that did the video and the ratings and the whole thing, cousin company of Toyota. And so it's all perception out there. Just make sure you're looking at the right things when you're researching. So when you trade in, you want to lightly clean your car a little bit, maybe vacuum your car out, lightly clean it. Really doesn't make much of a difference. But if you have it at least look a little bit nice, you probably get a little bit more for it. If you have body or mechanical damage, the dealers can fix it for much cheaper. And don't go pay a bunch of money. First, figure out how much it's going to cost to do that work. Check Kelley Blue Book's value. When you go to the dealership, make sure that you factor that into your numbers. Do you owe money on your car? If you owe money on your car, make sure know how much your negative equity. I wrote this book actually 2 weeks after I quit. I had this idea, like I'm really just trying to help. I knew nothing about the car business when I got started. Absolutely nothing. I didn't know a 4-cylinder from a 6-cylinder. I had no credit. I didn't know how to get a credit card. I didn't know what financing was. I had no clue on any of it. By the time I left, I knew enough to get a promotion and run my own used lot. I learned a lot in 2 years, and I want to share all this information that I have with the community, with consumers that have never heard this information before, and no one's done anything like this. No one's done a whole book. No one's done anything like this. And so I'm doing all this for free, this presentation, my cold call videos, glossary, my tip number 16, all that's free. Buy my book. The book's only $7. Help me change the car business, but this got all sorts of stuff in here. You'll get a colored copy. I'll send it to you in your email. This has never been done before. I pretty much sealed my fate of never going to a car dealership to work again. That's done. This might piss a lot of people off, and hey, I'm okay with that. So I just want to change things from the outside now that I'm outside the car business. Learned a lot while I was in there. I want to share that with you, all the dirty secrets, all the things that happen. We got some silly string here. Can I hit the camera? Oh, awesome. If you are trading in and you got over 100,000 miles, you're probably not going to get much for your car, especially if it's a domestic. Go on Craigslist, sell it. If you're selling a car that's worth $15,000, it's going to be harder to sell on Craigslist because most people don't have that type of cash on them, and you have to go to a bank, get a loan, all this stuff. So if you're, but if you have a car over 100,000, consider just selling it on Craigslist for a few thousand. You can donate it to a church, write it off on your taxes. There's a lot of things you can do with it. And then if it's over 200K, you're probably not going to get shit for it. And so at the dealership, that is. So go on Craigslist, just post it for $1,000. Somebody's going to buy it. Somebody has a car just like yours that has a blown transmission, and your transmission will fit in theirs, and they'll have backup parts for everything else. Oh, we're getting to the juicy part now. This next slide's the good stuff.